everybody! Welcome back to Happy ReZero Day. Happy ReZero Day, everybody! And I'm gonna get the boys on in a second. Shit. Where's my thing at? Happy ReZero Day.
COUR.
Boom, there we go.
Full
All right.
title.
Full title. Hopefully you guys can hear the boys. Speak, lads.
Hello, boys.
Okay,
The
yes.
boys are back in town.
We're
back.
We're
We
good.
never left.
We're the boys
ReZero.
season 5 here. Let's go.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's
But
go,
not
let's go.
Boys season 5, but ReZero season 3, episode 14, Theresia and Astrea.
Theresia!
I don't know how many people are excited for us to watch this episode. It
Everyone.
does seem like, I mean, I'm excited because this is a very emotional thing. I really love the chapter leading up to it and stuff like that as well.
The amount of work we put into this chapter as well. I was telling the guys, I was like, oh, it'd be, this is going to be rough. Now we have all the assets here, and now I'm disappointed. But we beat the anime, and that's what matters.
We won!
Sure did.
Yes,
Woohoo.
exactly. And, it's good that we did. I think, sure, in retrospect, we're like, dang, I like it. But, having done it beforehand is probably better. I mean, there's so much content that can't be in this, episode.
Yeah.
Gives our own take on it, too.
We're very, very excited.
I think it's, a little bit more depressing to do, the readings if the anime's already been done, because it feels like we're trying to catch up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm glad that we got to finish it. Yeah.
this weekend we start Arc 6 of ReZero live recordings. So we're going to be strapping in for some more and hopefully beating out the anime again.
Yeah, no.
That's the goal.
Our
That's hard for
4th
that.
anniversary celebrations. After that, we will continue watching moving forward. Woohoo! Yeah. Gentlemen, anything else we need to plug before we get started? I think we all just want to start.
I mean, yeah, I think, aside from our lovely anniversary coming up this Saturday, we have the podcast going on concurrently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Check out new episodes of that, and we're getting really close to catching up, guys. It's very exciting. So don't miss that. If you want to hear a perspective on the story as you also read ahead once the anime is done, we've pretty much done it from Arc 7 onwards.
Yes.
Arc 7 onwards, and you'll be able to listen to Arc 6 every single week from Saturday, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
From Saturday.
Every single week we'll be doing a new batch of chapters, and then we'll also be discussing it as well afterwards. So it'll be like a live reading that we do, and then a podcast afterwards, almost in a way, and then we'll be separating that for the YouTube upload.
Hi.
Sure will.
Hell yeah.
It'll be very fun. I'm excited to have all you guys come out there, because I know a lot of you have been anticipating readily
Yes.
our return.
And apologies on the delay on the podcast episodes. I started reading Arc 6 and got very much distracted. And so hopefully in the next day or two, I will be getting back on that.
But that's also important, guys. Her catching up means that she can look at things without caring about spoilers anymore.
Yes.
And I think that is
Yeah!
a part of the future management of the channel. Yeah.
Bless up. All right. Are we ready to start Theresia Van Astrea?
Sure am.
1 second, let me pull it up.
All right.
I love how when I type in ReZero, it does not give me ReZero, because you have to have the colon in it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Theresia Van Astrea. Alright, I'm good.
Happy birthday, Chill Dice. Thanks
Happy
for popping in.
Birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birth.
Enjoy. Happy
Happy
birth.
birth.
As Taildy says, womb eviction day. Alright.
Indeed, indeed.
As always, we are going to have our own copies of the episode playing in the background. You can follow along with the captions. I somehow deleted the timer feature on here, so there's just going to be a little green screen today. Have fun with that. But you can follow along with the captions below. Hopefully they work out a-okay. Please support the official release. I'm going to do a countdown on go. We all press start. Gentlemen, you ready?
Ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go!
She loves the flowers. What's a woman doing out of our house not doing the chores?
It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous, though. You know, this looks almost like season 1 style almost, because it's kind of harkening back to that scene.
Mm-hmm.
They did change it up, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
The lighting
flowers.
effects are different.
Flowers are nice.
And the
Orange is
designs.
better. Yeah.
Oh.
Anawaski.
And they fight.
Yeah, the contrast, yeah.
I'm getting the car!
Ooh,
This
ooh,
is
that
a signing of divorce, part 2!
that sound effect is crazy.
Sound effects are so good. Ooh. I appreciate the thoroughness of a lot of the combat scenes in this part.
Yeah.
Like you see them like stumble a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, her mommy voice is so nice.
Yeah, it's super familiar too.
Yeah, it is. I don't
Yeah,
I
most
recognize it from
anime
somewhere.
voices are pretty familiar.
Oh.
Sounds like Elsa.
I think Garth's mother's voice has a very memorable
Oh.
voice actress as well.
Yeah,
Oh, great camera direction here.
that was
for the
beautiful.
scene.
Yeah, those are great scenes with like the rotations.
Really good choreography too.
It's the dude.
The
It is-
dude,
It's the
Regular
disappointment.
guy. Regular
Heinke.
guy.
a regular guy.
Oh, you ruined it.
You
Heinke.
called
Oh
me
my
dad.
Dad.
God. Ouch.
Father.
I didn't realize I got stabbed through the leg like that. No. You're damn right. Must be weird when your mom's like younger than you.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah.
recognize her.
Yeah.
This,
If I saw my
this-
mom young, I'd think she was my sister.
Yeah, true. I mean, like you see like pictures and stuff, but it's like what? Back in the day, obviously they couldn't do pictures. Or maybe they could have with media.
That's right. He
Well, that's
doesn't
kinda sweet.
realize. He's so
Good try.
jacked.
Music.
This
Well, he's
is-
not. He's not really
Wow.
trying.
Mommy, no.
so sad.
Whoosh!
That's
Family
just his intro
gathering.
line, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is,
That's enough.
actually. He does say that every single time.
No running in the corridors.
A family affair. They could be twins. Oh. Finally a worthy opponent! Oh my god!
Draws the blade. First time in reality of the
Holy
whole show.
shit.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. That
Whoa.
visualization is so
World.
cool.
The world itself is shaking around it.
That blade was insane.
For real, same. You're right.
These guys have been holding on to this for so long. Holding it all in.
And she'll die again.
Man, the 3D camera background's so good.
Oh.
Sick.
Whoa. Right in front of the whole family. Poor Reinhard.
Cut through your future. And the witch cult pendant.
The light's coming
Oh,
back.
her eyes coming back into focus. Okay, that
I
was
like-
visualized so well.
Yeah, I like how they did that.
And she's like narrating her past.
Which makes sense from what I read. Which I like this. Oh.
I now see everything.
I understand how to cut the flowers perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you gotta think about it. When you're blessed by this,
Oh!
I'm excited to see the other family members. Yes.
Oh.
it does feel like you're possessed. Those are good designs.
I like their designs.
Holy shit!
Can say.
Oh, nice
Those
eyelashes.
though.
I was about to say,
Is he
he's got them
related to
Julius
Julius?
Julius is
Oh!
long lost.
Just fucking.
Come on,
Dragon
little
Sword
girl.
Reed.
Pick up the sword.
Just like someone else we know, boys.
True.
Damn.
Yup.
Oh, wow. They just
Oh,
sped to
wow.
this.
That's really well done background art. That's like 2D.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to show Carol? I feel like that would be why the web novels people are
tremendous.
angry.
Oh, because a waifu got cut out?
Yeah. Because she
Oh,
would
maybe
be
they
right
won't.
here. Oh, maybe not in this section.
Where's Carol meant? I mean, like, when you show a character with like a full character design, people are like, okay, but then they have to come back, right? And if they don't, then people are gonna be like, what was
Yeah.
the point?
Exactly. But they cut Carol out of the original, so...
Mm-hmm. Oh, then there was no chance she's going to be in this.
Yeah, she's not in the light
Yeah,
novel.
she's dead. Just like, hello.
Chad.
I
Big
liked
Brother.
reading this scene a lot.
Yeah, me
I
too.
bet voicing this was quite fun, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I love this scene.
He's a good guy.
Giga Chad.
They give him eyelashes, make him look different from Reinhard.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the brothers look kind of different, you know?
Yeah.
The other two looked like they were twins.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's true. Yeah. Were they? I actually forgot.
I don't remember that being mentioned, but
They
I
could
don't
be.
remember it not being mentioned either.
Yeah.
So let's just say they are.
Just leave it all to your big brother,
Yeah,
kid.
it's the moment in which
Oh,
in Attack on
shit.
Titan
Oh my
where
God.
Hanging.
she's like, yeah, it's true.
Moment Attack on Titan when?
When he's like, I'll leave the Levi squad to take care of the female Titan. I believe in them, and this happens.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, he got... Damn.
Ooh,
That's some
Yeah,
villain
3
saga
hours.
shit.
Yeah.
I like
I was
like
gonna say
the shot.
Boromir, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh wow, the previous sword set.
Okay, so that's what I was wanting to clarify, because that wasn't super clear in the web novel.
Mm-hmm. I like that they...
That it was the same uncle.
Yeah.
And this guy has the nerves. He's like, oh, my children are dead. Whatever, fight.
Fight!
Ooh,
Oh.
I like that.
Unlimited blade works, Theresia.
It does look like that. Ooh, that's nice symbolism, yeah.
Hmm?
Pick up the sword while the flower's burning. You know?
Yeah. I love her flower bracelet.
Ooh, that's a nice
Ooh.
transition.
What are you doing here, wench?
Yeah, I guess I really didn't need to do all this build up again if we already know it.
Eh.
Oh, the part they showed in season 1? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, it's sad
Too
that they didn't
fair.
get their fight.
No, but they did fix his dialogue there to not like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say?
sound as sexist.
oh yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so
he's
it
like,
doesn't
a woman
sound
shouldn't
sexist.
hold the sword.
Yeah. It's not like you don't have to hold the sword because you're a woman. You don't have to hold the sword because you don't want to.
Yeah, that's a little bit. I don't know if he was. Teppei might have thought initially like, no, this is a part of his character. He was sexist back in the day, but it's like, how do you put that back in the story?
It's
you know?
just a mistranslation.
It is.
Or is it
It's just
okay?
translated poorly. Imagine being
We
the
really-
other people in the courtroom this day.
Yeah, it's true.
You're
They're
like,
like,
wow,
oh, what
I'm
the
witnessing
fuck?
history. What?
Yeah.
Get a room! Get a room! Oh my
You know
gosh.
what's interesting?
Wait, you pooped that out?
Yeah. Wait, where does that come from?
Oh, they're so cute.
Oh, that's so cute.
Ah!
Oh, no.
They're identical. Holy shit.
Yeah, he does look good. You're right.
He looks so good.
I'm trying to see this.
How do we
Mom
make
and
her look
Daddy.
older? Oh, we just put her in a different dress.
She got
She has
titties
bigger
Straighten
now.
her hair.
Yeah.
She looks mature.
She has thicker hips.
The mom bod.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, I agree with that.
Yeah, Wilhelm used to be the leader of the knights. Him not being able to process and say his emotions is the crux of all of this. Damn.
Damn, how the fuck she do that with her hand?
Imagine being with your wife and you're just bleeding on your shoulder the entire time.
Yeah, she's got a mommy voice.
Yeah, I'm trying to place it.
You're right. You're right. It sounds
I
familiar.
do find the hand sword thing all the sword saints do quite funny.
Yeah.
Um, it's weird. I think that might be Aaron's mom's VA from Attack on Titan.
Oh, maybe.
Though,
She plays a unique kind of character.
yeah,
I mean, it could even be the same voice actress, honestly.
Sagawa designs superior.
right.
Agreed. Just tell her you love her. Fuck.
hee hoo hee hee.
Ooh, even the white whale
Green
got a
Goblin
glow
Back
up.
again.
Hey, Bessie's back!
Wow. Are we gonna see the terrain?
Oh, that's so
Papache.
cool. Oh, is that one of the veterans? Maybe?
Yeah, it looked like it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, that's really cool.
Oh,
She's
you're
Lust
right, you're
from
right.
Full Metal Alchemist. That makes sense.
Lust from FMA. Okay.
Yeah. lust. Very mommy-esque. That makes sense.
Yeah, you're right.
I've only heard it dubbed.
I only watch FMA dub too.
Yeah. Ooh, down goes the white whale. Oh yeah, I recognize that guy.
Yeah, he's one of the one last job after retirement guys.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the poor baby ground dragon.
Again, like the background art in the season is so good.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Like the texture on the dirt and stuff.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I picked the right background. Yes, so good.
Familiar voice.
Subarashi.
This voice actress for Pandora, such a good voice.
She's not worthy.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's good.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
so cool!
Whoa.
B when girl was my ear.
Collapse. Oh no! Oh no!
That's a good perspective shot.
Oh my god, Reinhardt's face.
You're just like, oh shit, is she not undead?
Yeah, well, he's still looking at it like, whatever, I did my job. I'm not wrong.
Oh. Wow, this went faster than I thought. Ah!
Adorable.
She's with the fairies now.
She was
Into
a
the
fairy.
flowers.
Oh, yes, I get this.
Fucking high cool.
I feel
Reinhardt
worse
doesn't
for
care.
him, honestly.
Yeah. This is so traumatizing. He's already lived through this once, and he has to live through it again. Except more literal.
Bum, bum,
There's a
bum.
my God.
long
And-
looking after credits.
That's huge.
That was great.
That was
Oh,
really
you're
good.
right. That is a long after credits.
Reinhard, why is Grandpa crying? She's not even alive. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Reiner's looking at like, this is just a farce. This is just a trick.
That's not my grandma.
Oh,
She's
a bunch
dead.
of tricks.
Oh, Mango said Heinkel didn't even know about corpse soldiers till that moment, right? Oh.
That's
Probably not.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, he was captured, and then he was.
And
yeah.
then all of a sudden, Mom arrives. Fuck. Ah!
Heinkel wasn't even part of the meeting, so it's like he's just there.
No, yeah, he was busy
Oh, yeah.
trying to kidnap Felt.
That's right.
I feel so bad for Heinkel.
Yeah,
Man,
same.
this ending is so good. I'll appreciate it a few last times.
I'm honestly surprised that they only did Theresia stuff this whole episode.
Well, we
Well,
got a
next
bit in the
episode.
after credits. We had Otto
was
and
about to
Garth
say.
talking in the trailer, and that translation's fucking hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, it's wild. What that side story's going over.
The power of
heading?
friendship. Oh no,
Dirt.
they
Oh.
cremated her.
We're gonna get the aftermath.
Yeah, she didn't go into flowers, but dirt.
His voice acting is so good.
Ooh, I like this track.
Mm.
Mm.
Voice actor going in.
Hmm.
Co-parter. He called her mommy in Japanese.
He does seem like a child here. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh.
I'd do it again.
Yeah, I killed her.
So what?
I'm not gonna deny it.
Oh. I think I got this track right. Bless up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this scene is so sad.
My people
Ah.
need me.
God, Tapei's such a good fucking writer. I know, man.
Fuck.
Damn, heavy.
Shit. Oh my god.
That's a note to leave it off on.
Wow.
I like that Heinkel was reaching out and trying to look
Yeah.
out for his dad at the end.
Yeah. And it's as I said, like both him and Wilhelm have this issue with like expressing their emotions. They like bottle up so much. I mean, I think like actually no, I should say Heinkel has the opposite problem where he's like overly expressive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With his
Yeah.
like grief and stuff like that. Like it pushes people away.
Yeah, and he's definitely been stunted by like all of his trauma that he's had and like how his family treats him and stuff, which is just so hard to see.
It I think what makes it hardest is, I think, with my new perspective on Heinkel, I very much, like, even just more deeply thinking about his character here, he is the one who, whilst he has maybe done some of the most emotional hurt in terms of his words, he is probably the one who is the most in the right when sometimes with what he says, like, objectively.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot reconcile if you do not figure out these differences. You can, and him actually trying to reach out to his dad. I mean, he goes out there to protect his dad, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, that's why he's here.
It's just so sad. And I think the worst thing is just like, especially at this point on the surface, everyone looks at him and it's immediately like, oh, he's pathetic and he's the one that's causing all the problems, when I think in reality it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
He's gone through so much pain and hurt, and the fact he's still trying to reach out to his dad and help, like, bring his mother to peace is just really sweet. And it's just like, man, like, Reinhard answering Wilhelm the way he does. I think that was Wilhelm's last offering to Reinhard of, like, okay, it's okay if you are sad about it, you know, because that means you're human, right?
Yeah, it's like you just saw her, like, fully admit to having a conscious thought here, and, like, it's not only this time, but you're also held responsible for the first time it happened. Do you feel any regret at it? It's like, nope, I'd do it again.
Which is so
It's
weird.
completely irrelevant.
This part always confused me with that scene. Not in a bad way.
It's just because Reinhardt went with the second trial thing with Puck saying a hero is all you can be. Puck is being literal, and that the only thing Reinhard can be is the Sword Saint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's
Just someone that kills monsters.
Someone that kills monsters. There's nothing more to him. And, like, he clearly is saddened by that and wants to be more, but he doesn't put the active effort into trying and doesn't really know how to do it because of how his, not just the Sword Saint thing works, but how all his blessings work.
The only time he's ever different at all seems to be when he's with Felt, because she, like, actively puts him down constantly. And
Which is
doesn't let
what
him
he
sit
wants.
on his high horse.
Yeah.
Which he could move on here if he just acknowledges his role in everything that went wrong, but it seems like he's still not fully rationalized that he may have been responsible for what happened to her in the first place as well.
I think it's a combination of a trauma response in him, the trauma as a kid of maybe even accidentally causing this. It would have fucked him off to the point of maybe he's gone into denial, but also it's the element of, because it happened when he was so young, I think he's still very immature in a lot of ways, and he doesn't process emotions like a typical adult does.
Yeah.
No.
I know a lot of people are asking for our opinions based on this trauma. I'm trying to look up what people are saying online, because usually I get, like, message upon messages and, like, constant posting when people don't like shit. I'm not finding it anywhere on Twitter right now, and normally I have, like, the most toxic of toxic rotating here. What is everybody complaining about that our chat is asking? Because normally you guys don't ask unless there is something going on.
Let's hear it from the chat's perspective.
Yeah.
What exactly is it that people are saying?
I think the one thing, I feel like there was so much they had to cut because that chapter was so long. They had no choice but to cut things. I feel like I wasn't as emotionally hit as I have been with other episodes, which I think there could have been some better, like, choices in the storyline, but also what could they do in that?
I mean,
they've already extended it.
I felt the same as when I read it the first time. I think a lot of people have, I don't want to say, like, more attachment to this story and chapter for some reason than it actually originally, like, was supposed to entice. Especially you, for all the work that had to go into it. Like, that's just, like, you have your own trauma associated with the Theresia stuff.
That's the thing too. It's like I got that emotional connection after the third or fourth read. Like it took me several times to really connect with Theresia, and I could see it, but I don't like from watching this. I don't see the pain Theresia felt. Like I don't feel it like I did with the web novel, but that's because they had to go through so much. I think them not having Carol originally in like season 1 was probably their biggest thing, like the light novel's biggest mistake, I would say, because Carol helped with that element. And also you didn't see that she was like sick for forever and like refused this, not just in that battle, but in other situations. And she had to go be a performative character and pretend that she was so great. And then in here, you just see her in one battle. And we don't even get to see the time where she saves Wilhelm. So you don't get that like exhilarating bit. I know it was technically mentioned in season 1, but they could have done a quick like flash, I think. And it would have hit a little... I don't know. It would have hit just a little harder. It almost felt like they were just exploring the, here's the family line. I still love it. I just don't think it hit me as emotionally as, like, other parts of the episodes have.
I think, ultimately, the thing with Theresia's stuff as well is that, at least for me, it's a very effective emotional gut punch the first time you experience it. But if you've already experienced it,
yeah,
it's ultimately what we're here for is to see how it affects the family dynamic, not really Theresia herself, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a storytelling tool to effectively make what could have potentially been a reconcile between the Astrea family seem even more dauntingly impossible. It's like an effective storytelling device. Like when you're first experiencing this, it can feel very raw and emotional because you didn't know that part of Theresia before, right? But if you already do, I think it doesn't hit the same, you know, and that's okay. Yeah. This has served the purpose it's supposed to serve, you know.
Yeah, Rodrigo and Mango are saying the lack of the death god and the sword god is what people felt, and that I could agree with. I think it would be nice to have that lore a bit more, but they must have a reason to have not had that in. So much going on, and yeah, maybe a newer director, but still,
probably
it was still
because
beautiful.
It's literally never been mentioned again since then, and he's probably changed his mind on it.
Honestly, it makes sense. What also, purpose do you need for the death god?
It's also a thing that's exclusive to narration.
Yeah,
I believe. It's not like a real thing that's brought up in dialogue.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes very hard to convey that.
I think the narration did a great job of heavy lifting a lot of the themes in this.
Yes.
Like, it described how beautiful, like, the fight was and how, like, heart-wrenching the emotions felt, and also the history behind it was, like, very well narrated, I think. Very poetically said. But it's hard. That's always been an issue that you kind of have to accept when you translate something from a written medium over to a visual one, is that the concept of show don't tell is so prevalent by necessity that there is really nothing you can do. Like they even added in little flourishes, like even with the shortened amount of time, even then they tried to add in little flourishes where Theresia was like narrating her own backstory a little bit, like in the transitions or a few of the thoughts that she said. And that was as much as they could do naturally because Theresia never had like a traditional narrator or like any sort of dynamic involving the narration or like whatever.
Yeah.
The only time we get it is characters narrating their own named chapters or Subaru narrating what's going on.
Yeah. And like you said in the chat too, Connor, like it's not that important of an episode. It's really good to set up I think like Heinkel as a different type of character to set up Reinhard in his family dynamic and allow us to see Wilhelm and like his kind of arc as well. Theresia is just a cool person in general, but really she's just the tragic character in this. She doesn't really have much say. Now she's dead.
This is going to sound almost, I mean, probably will sound controversial. Theresia's not a character. She's dead before the story starts, and the only impact she has is what's already happened to the characters.
Yeah,
so any story that we get is like unable to affect what the story can tell or do going forward, aside from moving past it.
And
So the most important part of the episode is the end with Reinhard taking her down and the other two reacting to that in the different ways.
Yeah, as Connor is saying, because of the nature of the story and as it is, the narrative as it's being told, everything that's happening in the present is A1 narrative importance. You know what I mean? You don't have to give context to the things that happen, they can just happen. And also, it is the most important because things in the past can affect things in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if a character exists in the future or they don't, and they're in the past, sure, they might show back up in the future, but if they're already dead, for example, like Theresia,
Yeah.
all they can affect is what we see in the present, and that could be implied by the character's actions. It gives good context, sure, but the main drive of the narrative development is through Subaru's perspective and everything going on with the characters developing around him. And unless it's exactly relevant to that, you don't need to do a huge thing to make Teresia's feelings the focal point here, right?
Yeah.
Like, the feelings that matter most is Wilhelm, Heinkel's, and Reinhardt's. Like, and they showed that perfectly.
They did.
You know, like, they didn't leave anything out, I don't think, like, too big, except for a few of the poeticism moments of it. But other than that, yeah, like, it showed everything that the novel showed.
I think
in terms of their perspective, yeah.
The other thing is too, I see some people discussing like direction in terms of like some people believing here that the director for this season was like a misplaced thing. I don't agree with that at all. Like, I think the direction in this episode was really good at certain points. Again, this episode is a storytelling device. It's not gonna. And unfortunately, I think this particular mini story, it would have always been way more effective as a novel than it would have been as a visual medium.
I think also too, this is definitely set to bring in a generation of anime watchers, not the web novel or light novel like people. And I know this is kind of controversial to say here. We are picky as web novel and light novel readers. We have the most information and content. We know what is being looked at, what's coming up in the future. So we're going to have that more pessimistic viewpoint. Whereas the anime onlys, this is a 10 out of, like, I've seen nothing but beautiful reviews from our anime only community. They weren't expecting this at all. They weren't seeing it coming. For the rest of us, we're going to be nitpicky as hell. But that's because that's what we read. If you think it's bad direction just because you have a feeling, that's fine. But you don't have to be so negative about it because people are allowed to grow and learn, and there's allowed to be different things. If you think Arc 6 is cooked based off of one episode, that's absolutely preposterous. That's silly. Silliness.
Yeah, what I'll bring up is a good point here. The anime, the web novel, and the light novel are three completely different products, and one does not affect the other. You can enjoy the chapter. It still exists.
It does.
Yeah.
We read it. You can go look at it if you want.
And ultimately, right, if they had attempted to put more effort into this episode, what would that have meant? It would have meant taking away time from the rest of the content, right? Like, if they did like a, say, even like 30-minute adaptation of this, like 35-minute, something like that, that's taking away time from the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
And ultimately, this is more of a fan servicey moment in some aspects,
true,
right? And it is
like Drad is right.
And I don't know if that does offend people or not, but it's true. Like, I love Theresia too. Like, I won't die. I think she's really, really cool.
I think she's one of those, also just like one of the best designed characters in the season.
100%.
Yeah,
in the series.
Exactly.
Like, she just looks great.
Yeah,
she
just
looks top
cool.
to bottom.
And what she's got about is really cool, but
yeah,
like, this is not the emotional crux of the story.
No.
So if you think that the big emotional crux of the next arc will be ruined because they didn't focus too much on the emotional aspect of this, apart from the family dynamics, I think that's, you know, wait till it comes out before you judge it, you know?
I
think the direction this season has been great.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely phenomenal.
Also, I will say the direction for the season has been perfect for this season, right? Like, maybe they'll take a different directional attitude towards the next arc, because you got to remember, this arc is very, very different to the rest.
I got two things. One, what Drad said about the dragon sword, 100% true. That was like my favorite part of this episode too, was the fact that he could finally pull the dragon sword, because she is a like, yeah, she's a valuable person to draw the sword for. That was crazy. But secondly, oh shit, I forgot. Fuck, never mind. I'll come back to it. I think it's just important. Go ahead.
I like seeing Heinkel call Theresia mommy as well. Like,
Yeah.
he switches from calling her like Kasan, like standard mom, and then switches to haha, which is like the actual word for mother, but it's what really small children use because Chi-Chi and haha are a lot easier to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than like Kasan,
Like
Kasma,
mama.
and Oto-san. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's even what Anya says in like Spy Family.
Mhm.
It's so him reverting back to that with her is really sweet for him.
Dad.
Because they had a really strong relationship.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's a kid again, training with his dad and looking at his mum, watching him, and trying to like big up his dad to impress his mum. Kind of moment there, like he's reverting back to his childhood in that moment. I think.
And like, did you see how like nice and proud of each other their family were growing up all that time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was nice to see.
When he was a grandfather, the face he was seeing.
Yeah.
And when he brought home his wife, and they were both like, "That's awesome."
And he's dressed in the full Knight's outfit. He looks great. I love him. I like Heinkel a lot after everything else, but
Yeah, Drad.
from here, it's good to set it up.
How'd you feel about this Heinkel, Drad, as our resident
how do you
Heinkel?
feel about the Heinkel interpretation?
That you did a really great job with that scene. You
did
Pat,
amazing,
and Purple crushed that one, and then Jay and I did the rest of the Theresia Wilhelm stuff. Okay.
I was honestly very happy with that episode. I loved some of the directional choices, like the way they showed the dragon sword being drawn is one of the coolest ways they could have done it. Honestly,
And
Oh,
the
fact
whole
it wasn't overtly like just like crazy, and it was just more subtly like, whoa, the world is actually shifting because it has been drawn. Is so fucking cool.
the weight of it's like it pushed the whole world down.
yeah, which is crazy. I finally remember the thing I was going to say. It was, fuck, I almost lost it. Hold on, stay with me. The reason why I think I also feel a little indifferent about this episode, it came off the heels of the Garf episode, which just fucking went so hard. So how can you compare something so different as well? That was what I was forgetting. Boop, boop.
It's different tonally too.
Yeah,
and also,
100%.
this episode it was never about the fight.
No, not at all. But the emotion part was beautiful.
And I thought the choreography for the initial fight was actually very cool. In fact, it followed the fight, like, from the novels. It's just it happens in real time, so it doesn't last very long, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved the whole episode, start to finish.
Yeah,
Like,
it was great.
I think it was just great the whole time. I enjoyed every aspect of it.
Yeah, Heinkel's voice actor has a really new take on him. I didn't really expect
does.
it to
Yeah.
be.
That's
So,
what Drad's
like,
saying, too.
Yeah, I was reading that comment. It's definitely like a lot more childish and like, you know, like man-childish than I initially expected. You know what I mean?
I really like that interpretation. I think that honestly, like, it hits the vibe of Heinkel really well. Of someone that has been stuck in his immaturity for a long time and hasn't been able to grow past his younger life because of all the things that have happened to him.
Yeah.
Man's been hit with tragedy after tragedy, right? Like,
Yeah. He's lost his mom, his wife, and effectively lost his son, all in a very short sequence of time.
Mm-hmm. And developed a drinking problem. lost his reason for holding a sword.
And you know what? At least he's still working with the hottest royal candidate possible, though.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
knows.
exactly.
He
With
knows
the
how
best
to get,
chance to win.
Yeah, he knows how to get, what he wants. He's playing with the best odds.
He does. I'm excited to see what they keep doing with him going forward, because I remember still, even when I was reading this chapter initially, it didn't feel that bad for Heinkel.
Mm-hmm.
And here, it's
Here
like
I did, yeah.
It almost felt like he stole the scene for
Yes,
like his
exactly.
actual
Yeah.
reactions to it.
I'd
mean,
agree.
the direction for it was great. Him reaching out for his dad, but very quickly pulling his hand back, and
They're
then
the most dynamic.
kicking his sword,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which has significance to
Yeah.
the Astrea family as well. It's just perfect. It's cinema. It's like peak cinema. Like, it's
Which is what Drad portrayed too in the actual chapter itself. But I think this guy just went full in despair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Heinkel, right now in like the context of the full story, it's not really a spoiler. He's one of my favorite characters in the story.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily, he's
Heinkel?
I probably
Yeah.
put him top 10, honestly.
Well, I
Top
think
10
that also
probably.
might be a change too. I didn't know if I could say it just yet, but
Yeah, no, it'll happen eventually.
Yeah, it's
I-
where we
it's-
are, not
yeah.
where you are.
Yeah, no. So
I
but
think
the thing is, at least
a lot of
go
people
ahead.
know. I think a lot of people know that, like, I feel like there's been a lot of direction changes within the choices made in the anime to really highlight certain parts that are going on currently.
Yes,
Like, we had
exactly.
Al
Yes.
references, now we're getting a
I
bit more
agree.
Heinkel.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like it's refocused, knowing where the story is gonna go and what they want to focus on.
Emphasize things.
They then are like, we're gonna emphasize this because that's what's important, right?
because
Well,
it'll
they-
pay dividends later. Yeah.
With the direction, camera work, or even just like isolating vocal line within the music, or focusing on a specific character in a scene with multiple people talking back and forth, or even like cutting off a character's face so that the focus is on what they're saying and not on who's saying it.
Mm-hmm.
They're able to make what seems like passing comments or like minor small talk dialogue in the background for several different chapters into actual foreshadowing.
Yeah, it's great. And I think even though he's not top 10 character material for people here now, you get I think a lot more in the novel you feel the potential of Heinkel's character. There's
You feel
something
the depth.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something deep and something that's just wrong with how you're seeing him when you first met him, right? There's something deeper there. There's something you need to know. Because we haven't seen his perspective. That's
Yeah, he's
the
in the
thing.
middle of. I mean, like all the three of the Astrea family's boys, their perspectives are all so important and unique to the story.
Mhm.
You know, I think that's what we kind of learned. I mean, I think both Reinhardt and Heinkel more so than Wilhelm at this point, because Wilhelm has almost resolved his big thing that is kind of needed.
Yeah.
But like this side of it's just very interesting and unresolved. You can tell like there's still more to work on.
I mean, just it was so painful watching Heinkel reach out for his dad, like in a moment of vulnerability, genuinely be like, almost not say it, but the vibe was, "I'm sorry, can we bury mum together?" kind of thing.
Yeah,
Wilhelm rejecting that, stung. Like, really
you shouldn't
hard.
be alone right now.
Yeah.
It's like
Because it's a simultaneous thing of, Dad, you're injured, like you're limping. Can I help you? And also, I want to be there too. And Wilhelm rejecting that. Oh my god.
And he's like, "What is wrong with you two?" Like, I think that's one of
Yeah.
those things that's very interesting because like he's shut up by both of his family members and he is
Yeah.
lost in the middle. You know, he's stranded. He's not able to reconcile with his father, and his son is like an alien to him at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this supremely powerful divine being that has inhabited his son that he once love's body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vulture says it's odd that Reinhardt didn't care at all. It's very in character for Reinhardt not to care.
I feel
I'm
like
gonna
it
be
makes
honest.
sense considering what we've seen now too, like how his dad treats him. Like I would have grown up absolutely hating my father being treated like that. He just repaired stuff with Wilhelm, which he looked really upset about. But also with Theresia, I mean, she literally kind of ruined his life because everyone thought he killed her when he did nothing. So I wouldn't even blame him for not like, even if like, you know, I think he was worried for a moment at the end there with his expression. But I think he has to be justified in his thoughts. He showed enough respect to pull the sword.
It's also a
Ford
thing.
showed
If,
enough respect
it's
to be willing to be pulled.
That's true. That's true.
It's also a thing of, if Reinhard does not view it that way, then his world crumbles. Right? Because of all of this that has happened, he has to think of the world in this cold, logical, I slay monsters way. Because if he doesn't view that, he's just killed his grandmother.
Mhm.
And like
And then he's gonna crumble.
for the perspective of him doing that with Theresia the first time as well, I'll put this proposal to you though, Kyles.
Mhm.
So we know that Reinhardt is able to like almost request
Yeah.
divine protections, right?
I remember
But
this,
the
yeah.
divine protection of the Sword Saint jumps from person to person. It doesn't just exist in that void
Mhm.
necessarily. Like once it goes to the next person, the previous one loses it explicitly.
Yeah.
So if he had requested the divine protection of the Sword Saint because he wants to be cool, he wants to help a fight, some other situation that a young kid is imagining,
Mm-hmm.
and did actively steal it from her, by mistake or otherwise.
Yeah. An
Then-
accident a kid wouldn't understand.
Yes, exactly.
But, of
Yeah,
course,
but
causes...
if a kid, like, accidentally stabs his grandmother, not realizing what's going on, he's still going to get a lot of blame for that.
Of course. 100%. And that's where a lot of the anger comes from. And I have a feeling you are right about that theory. Especially with how he just, like, I've just acquired this because I wished it.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's so. If that's how it went about, my theory would be he was worried about. It seemed like he was very close with Theresia, so
Yeah.
I think he was kind of a thing of him being like, "Oh, I'm worried. I need to go help. So if I get this protection, maybe I can help her do it."
Yeah,
Yeah,
either
well,
that or
we-
something with his mom or something going on.
Yeah, something.
Or wanting to be like his dad or this, that, the other thing.
His dad wasn't there because
Yeah.
he was doing a thing. And...
Yeah. And, kids will go on there, they'll say the silliest, darndest things.
And
'Cause he
then
was very
Wilhelm
young.
will say the silliest, darndest things too. To
He sure
Reinhardt.
will.
He was like 6, I think, Reinhardt. at the time.
5 or 6, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blame a child.
That is the age that I could see him doing something like that, absentmindedly be like, "I'm gonna help," and
Hmm.
yeah.
That.
Now, to make this more devious, in like what Drad and Rodrigo are suggesting in chat, is like we know Pandora can move herself around pretty easily without much of an issue just by stating stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw her divine protection leave her before the battle with the whale even started,
Yeah.
and
Yes, that's why
Pandora comes up on her after they lose.
Yeah.
So if Pandora had been with Reinhardt and saying something like, you could really help out your grandfather, go and save the princess, only if you were strong enough, though, if you were a little bit more powerful, why don't you just ask? Why don't
That
you just
sounds like
ask
the
and see
thing.
what happens?
Exactly.
Wouldn't it be wonderful?
Very
That could be.
Pandora-like.
Very similar thing to what she does with Amelia, right?
Yep.
And who would
Yes.
believe a child saying, "Oh, a lady told me"? No one.
Or she just says, oh, and also you're not going to remember I was here. Bye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she can just do that.
Yeah, it's true.
It will be. I think it could even be a moment of realization for Reinhard when he feels him hit the protection. He feels like, "Oh, I took it. Something's wrong." Like it's gonna be like a panic moment for him. And
Yeah.
Pandora's like, "Goodbye. You don't remember me."
When you think about how strong Reinhardt is, it almost feels like he's been engineered by Pandora. If that was the case,
It would be
Yeah.
really interesting if that was the
Yeah.
setup for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because, like, everyone has their own divine protections, divine powers, but, like, his is cracked out beyond cracked.
Mhm.
It would also just make sense for how the mechanics of the divine protection of the sword saint works as a bloodline protection too. Like if he's forcing the inheritance to happen, like it's gonna have to take it away.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, it's weird it went to him so early when Teresia's like predecessor was only one generation back and not
Yeah.
that much older. Like he was maybe what, 45, 50 max.
Yeah.
Definitely younger than it showed Wilhelm and Theresia being at
Oh,
the end
for
of
sure.
her life.
Mm-hmm.
And then
would
it jumped to a
say
12-year-old who could start training instead of going to like a 5 or 6-year-old that's not going to be able to have time to actually learn.
Yes.
There's always trouble when
Exactly.
Pandora's around. True that.
It almost feels like it genuinely skipped over Heincourt because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible that it always went one generation at a time.
Yeah.
And that his is like the first time it didn't.
I feel like it was the kind of thing because if for that Heincourt as well, right? It's not even the emotional like my destiny was stolen from me, but like if his destiny was actually stolen from him, what happens then? As someone pointed out in chat earlier, by the way, Heincourt would have been the protagonist of Subaru wasn't, according to Pay, which is very very appropriate in my mind.
Yeah,
I
100%.
Checks
Yeah.
out. Depression.
I
Do
mean,
we-
think about yeah. Sorry, go say.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Think about where he is positioned in the story. His perspective is very important. That's all I was gonna say. And his development further is going to be very interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want me to run away for this next part for anything with, like, arc
Not
5
really.
beyond? Okay.
We can say emotionally all we want to say without spoiling anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's just like, hey, we like Heinkel now. It's pretty much the
Yeah.
extent of it.
Okay.
I don't need to see anything else.
I
'cause
am-
of the
I
details
can't
are
believe-
important.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am rooting for Heincourt.
For something that like got flashed over really quick in the episode, though, if we want to highlight it, we can jump to 11:52, 11:53.
I would love to jump for the audience, but I cannot.
If only we had tracking.
And you guys can't visually see it. 11:52.
Oh, look at young Heinkel with Luana.
And then like 1 second later.
Yeah, and her. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I saw that, like people were curious if this got skipped over. It's there. Like you can see that he does have this thing caring about it.
That's important to know. I'm glad it's in the anime because it's one of those things where it's like if it's not in the anime, future things won't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both look so cute, don't they?
Yeah.
They do.
He looks so much like Reinhard in the night outfit, eh?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
you can see
God.
how
It's cut.
her sickness has
So
really
it's-
gone to him. Yeah.
It's weird. I was actually going to say Reinhardt looks more like his mom. Like the actual face definitions.
Oh,
Look-
yeah.
Oh, you're
but I
right.
mean, like,
Heinkel looks like Wilhelm, but Reinhardt looks like his mother.
Yeah.
True,
I
but
meant
look
in
at the
terms
hair.
of like, I meant in terms of like stature kind of thing, like silhouette kind of vibe.
Mhm.
That's just the Astrea bloodline at work, you know. Red hair, blue eyes, everyone has it.
Yeah, that's why my D&D character was descended from an Astrea bastard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. Rest in peace. The D&D.
Check the slash of the ride sword on
Maybe,
Theresia.
hopefully, one day we can return.
I'd love to do D&D with you guys again eventually.
Yes.
Ooh,
I'm hoping once the anime stuff levies up and we find more time.
yeah, when we aren't doing this stream, it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah,
And
'cause
the
it's
podcast
the
stand.
streaming, the reading, yeah.
Well, when we're
like-
caught up, it's going to be a lot easier to not
Oh,
have
yeah,
to
it's
do a
gonna be so
podcast every single. Yeah.
When is he slashed?
Do you just mean that the slash leads into the flashback? Like you see that very briefly in there?
The flash, like, kind of, yeah. You see the flashback inside of the slash, which I don't know if people are inferring something more about it than there is in it. I think it's just meant to be like that's her memories flashing through her eyes almost.
Well, it's like a common thing with this series and a lot of other ones that like you get a. Oh, actually, that's interesting. If
Is
you
it
let
that-
it play till 5:15, just do it super slowly from 5 minutes to 5:15. You can see the light come back into her eyes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, because she's
that was
breaking the curse. Yeah,
Yeah.
the sort of.
It is cool that we see that because, like, with the mechanics, at least my very small understanding of how the Dragon Sword read works, of like cutting the world and then refocusing it, it's like almost as if the world is seeing Teresia's life as it's cutting the life away.
Yeah,
Or it's letting it back into her somehow.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's also supposed to represent her memories coming back too, in a way, right?
Yeah.
And as like a sentient sword, right? Like it may even have some emotional attachment to Teresia as she was once its wielder.
Yeah, I think all 10 of the treasured swords are sentient. Is the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I would not be surprised by that.
Yeah, I think it is cool.
Well, I mean, honestly, like everything that we can really discuss for this episode is relevant to this episode. So I
Yeah.
don't have, like any spoilers discussions to talk about.
nah.
No, not at all.
If
I enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full web novel version, we have already recorded it. It took us a very long time to create and a lot of stress, a lot of tears.
We should put it in the description, honestly.
I will add that momentarily. I think also for me too, I think the absolute exhaustion of everything that came from the Theresia chapter also just made me a little jaded. I think that's where my stance on this episode is. It's nothing the
Yeah.
episode did. It is all the baggage that came from that episode. And there's a lot.
There's a lot of details that you're like replaying your mind, then it wears out the impact of the scene because you're just seeing it so often.
Not even, just like all the stuff that came with it. The drama, the silliness, the behind the scenes.
Right, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, I only read it like twice. So it wasn't that bad.
I just linked that in our
Oh.
chat for us.
Thank you for beating me. I almost got there.
It's chapter 73 if you all are wanting to read at home as well. For whatever reason, want to skip ahead before the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's
Thunder.
right towards the end. We're at the home stretch.
Yeah. It really is only 2 episodes left, eh?
I think so.
Yes.
This was episode 14.
It's supposed to be 16 episodes. Yeah, because 8 for each
Yes.
core.
Big cry.
Which is genuinely the perfect amount of time to adapt.
We gotta
So-
finish the gluttony fight. What other fight is going on right now? I think Lust
the
and
other
Al.
gluttony fight. There's 2 going on. And then
Oh,
Al.
True.
Oh yes, 2 gluttony fights, Al, and then we wrap up the last episode.
Last episode should be a winding down and a little bit of a cliffhanger for the next season.
Yes.
Yep, exactly.
A little bit of sad, a little bit of excitement.
Indeed.
Just a little bit of tears, little bit of
Happy, sad, sad, happy.
Some who's who.
Who's who?
The who's who. And then they announced Arc 6 at Anime Japan, right?
What day
Let's
is that
hope.
again?
One can only hope.
That's
Anime Japan 2025 is... Well, it's not January 17th, so that's inaccurate.
yeah.
That is that next Saturday? Not this coming Saturday, but the following one.
Oh shit! So we're gonna have a multi-stream.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure out that timing. We got a birthday party.
As long as ReZero has a big...
Panel.
Oh, no.
I'm looking
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I think it does. I could be wrong.
If it does, then we are watching, because it's probably going to be announced then.
Yeah.
If there's any time to be announced, it would be. Done.
I hope so. It's Red Stage, Rodrigo says.
Red Stage, thank you. I was just about to start pouring through all them. Japan, fix your fucking websites. Come on.
Red stage, Aka stage. Is that a big stage? Small stage?
Well, it's premiering some pretty cool shit, so I think so. Yeah, pretty big one.
Oh damn.
Hmm.
That's exciting. Day 23.
Okay, there is a ReZero one on Sunday.
Oh, perfect. That's okay. Well, we'll do that for sure.
This will be to review the past episodes of the 3rd season with the main cast members and deliver highlights of the show.
I wonder what that means.
Get ready to translate on the fly, Connor.
Oh god, I'm so fucking rusty right now.
You got a week.
That's why you gotta fix your shit, boy.
All
Those
right.
are the keywords. The keywords. that
Yeah.
happen.
That's all. Yep.
4th season.
Oh,
Sure, fam.
what does that mean? Yeah.
All right, everybody. I think with that, we are going to wrap up this episode. Thank you all for being here with us. We're going to be back next Wednesday, of course. We will also be live this Saturday with the first 3 chapters of Arc 6. Hopefully 3. We're going to see how long it runs. The first chapters of Arc 6 celebrate our 4-year anniversary with the cast and the crew. And then, of course, we're going to post our podcast here and there. Members, get ready. Once I finish one, it'll be out right away.
All right. Sounds great. All right, everybody. Have a nice rest of your days and see you later this Saturday.
Bye!
Yeah.
Mark